Jai Shri Ram. Mahabharata esoterica. Esoteric items. That means obscure details which requires a lot of research to understand. I am making a humble effort here to acquaint you with all the finer obscure details. Ashwamedhika Parva, 14th chapter. Ashwamedha Parva and Anugita Parva is there in this. Anugita is one of the talks of Gita given by one of the five Bhagavad Gitas, one of the five Gitas given by Sri Krishna. So, after completing the funeral ceremony of Bhishma and giving away lot in charity, Yudhishthira was again plunged into grief and again he started lamenting. And so finally Vedavyasa got frustrated and he clearly told Yudhishthira, we are all disgusted with your attitude. You listened to Bhishma, who delivered a talk more than 30,000 verses on all Raja Dharma, Apa Dharma, Moksha Dharma, Pravritti Dharma, Brahmana Dharma, Kshatriya Dharma, all this. And I think you have not been listening with dedication or sincerity. And if you are still so depressed, then you will have to undertake some more activity. And you will have to do some yajnas and perhaps Ashwamedha yajna. So Yudhishthira said, I don't have any money to do this Ashwamedha yajna. Vedavyasa then told him that there is a huge, cache of wealth, treasure trove, somewhere at the foothills of Himalayas, left by King Marutta. So you can go and collect that. So they went on a treasure hunt, got that wealth, and on inquiry about the history of Marutha, Vedavyasa narrated that the sage Rishi Samvarta, brother of Brihaspati, was the priest of Marutha, and all Devas and Indra came personally and received their share in the yagam. So Yudhishthira said, okay, we will perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. And by the way, Ashwamedha Yajna has nothing to do with slaughtering horses. Many scoundrels and rascals have written this Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha simply means expanding the empire, unifying the empire, so that there are no skirmishes and peace and prosperity can reign. That's the function of a king. Okay. Besides that, Ashwa means morning. Ashwa means the nation. Rashtram va Ashwamedha. Yajurveda, the mantra goes like this. Rashtram va Ashwamedha Annam Higau. So, the whole country, developing it, undertaking infrastructure projects, this is called Ashwamedha. Medha means intelligence. Medha. Some idiots thought that Medha means killing. Medha also means killing. Saraswati Devi is Medha Devi. Do you think she is in charge of butchery? She is a butchery Devi? Bloody idiot. Boothi pagalgotal chepputot. Ashwamedham తెలియనప్పుడు నోరు మూసుకుని ఉండాలి. అశ్వమేధం అంటే గుర్రాల్ని నరకడం కాల్చడం కాదు. Some fellows said that they were Brahmins were pouring ghee and burning the horse alive. This is the worst kind of these things are possible in those desert cults, not in Hinduism. Pashun pahi, protect all the animals, antakaya go ghatam, and go sutras are there in the Rigvedam. Entire mandalas are dedicated. Anyway, so Ashwamedha was undertaken by Yudhishthira. So when Krishna was leaving Hastinapura for Dwarka, Yudhishthira had requested him to come without fail, as this Ashwamedha had to be conducted under his direction. So here incidentally, before Krishna left to Dwaraka, Arjuna asked Krishna to give him a recap of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna scolded him, but then Krishna narrated the Anugita. Later, when Krishna proceeded to Dwaraka, taking his sister Subhadra along with him, he met sage Uttanka, who was his childhood classmate. Uttanka was a rishi. He had not heard about the war. Uttanka got terribly angry and he was about to curse Krishna for not having prevented the massacre of so many crores So Krishna told him, hey, listen, man. Krishna explained, I tried my best. Those fellows wanted to imprison me. I showed my Vishwarupam, but even then they were not willing to part even as much land as that can be covered under the tip of a pin, needle. So Krishna showed his Vishwarupam to Uttanka and asked Uttanka if to take a boon. Uttanka refused. Krishna insisted. So he said, okay, whenever I feel thirsty, I should get a glass of water. So in a way, he was trying to ridicule Krishna. Anyway, he refrained from cursing Krishna. Krishna said, I'm happy. So be it. And the story goes, Uttanka after several years was on a pilgrimage. He got caught in a desert. He had to cross a desert. No water. He was dying of thirst. Then suddenly he recollected, Krishna promised me. So maybe Krishna will come. Suddenly from some nowhere, a person came who was a Chandala, who wore animal skins. He was filthy looking. He had 4 dogs along with him. And he was carrying a bag made of sheep leather, which contained water. And he was a dog meat eater and all that, stinking skunk. And he said, you want water? So Uttanka felt horrified. He said, no, get lost. Then later he realized maybe this fellow is Krishna only. But then how can he take? He didn't take, he died. And when he opened his eyes, he saw his head was in Krishna's lap. And Krishna asked, what happened? He said, what the hell, man? You said you will give me a glass of water. But is that the way you should have presented yourself? After all, I am a Brahmin. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do my rituals. I maintain so much purity. You should have had minimum consideration. Why should you ride roughshod on my sensibilities? That is the minimum courtesy you should extend to me. I know the body is impure, but still, nevertheless, I am a Brahmin. I am conducting. You should have shown some sensitivity. So Krishna said, okay, now take it easy. That was not me. Actually, I asked Indra to give you Amrutam. Because after all, you are my friend, dear friend. But Indra said, no, Amrutam cannot be given to humans. And finally, because of my insistence, Indra said, okay, Lord, after you say, how can I deny it? But I will give it in my own way, my own style. You must respect. After all, I am Indra, I am holding a responsible office. You can't, interfere in my office all the time. In that case, why don't you do my work also? Fire me. I don't want to work like this. In any management situation also, if the boss continuously interferes in the supervisor's work, then the supervisor or manager has to say, you please do this job. I don't want to be here. So you must respect the authority of every designation. So that's the lesson. Chain of command, scalar command, all these concepts are there in management. So Krishna said, okay. So I believe Indra came in the form of the Chandal, meat-eating, dog meat eater, like the Chinese are eating dog meat. Philippines are eating dog meat. Even in East India, some Hindus are eating, thanks to the Mlecha culture. So that was Indra, and that was not water, that was Amrutam. And you rejected it. What can I do? Sometimes blessings come in the form of curses. Difficulties come with a seed of, every adversity carries within it a seed of prosperity. So if you can take the seed of prosperity, learn from the adversity, you will grow. But you failed. So this is another interesting lesson. Treat every difficulty as a challenge in life. See what you can learn. Be proactive. Proceed. And you will definitely become a champion someday. Nobody becomes a champion overnight. So there are so many lessons you have to learn from this simple story. Okay. So finally Krishna showed him Vishwarupam, and that fellow was very happy, and so he said, I don't want anything, but because Krishna insisted, he said, okay, give me a glass of water. And he learnt his lesson. So Krishna went to Dwaraka, told Vasudeva about how Abhimanyu was killed, and everyone was feeling inconsolable. So Krishna came to know that the Ashwamedha was being performed, so Krishna returned to Hastinapura. And on his arrival, Abhimanyu's wife Uttara delivered a male child, but it was stillborn because of the Brahmastra directed on it by Ashwadhama. Krishna touched the stillborn baby and revived it and named it Parikshit. And next, the Ashwamedha Yajna was started, the horse was released, and Arjuna was asked to be in charge of the horse. And it began to run freely across the entire country. And Arjuna conquered Vajradatta, who was the son of Bhagadatta. Bhagadatta. Bhagadatta was the father-in-law of Duryodhana. Bhagadatta's daughter Bhanumati was married to Duryodhana in the city of Pragjyotishapura, that is Assam. So, and Arjuna also fought against Sindhu, Saindhava, Jayadratha. They had a grudge against Arjuna because Arjuna killed Jayadratha. So, Arjuna fainted because the Sindhus, Saindhavas were very strong. But then he revived and defeated all of them. Dushala, the wife of Jayadratha, Saindhava, came to Arjuna, met him with her grandson. Her son ran away because of fear of Arjuna. Arjuna embraced his sister and told them not to worry and assured them protection. Then Arjuna also had a fight with the son of Ekalavya. And after some time, Ekalavya's son surrendered and honored Arjuna. He also defeated the sons of Shakuni in Gandhara Desh. So he went westward also, went to Manipur. And there in Manipur, Babruvahana, his own son of his wife Chitrangada, received him. But Arjuna provoked Babruvahana to fight a war with him, because it was unbecoming of a king to just welcome him, because though he is the father, he was on this mission, Ashwamedha mission. And incidentally, Babruvahana was so powerful, Arjuna died in that battle. Arjuna was then revived by Ulupi, who was another wife of Arjuna, who was a Nagakanya. She had a magical gem with which she revived Arjuna. Arjuna was shocked. Everyone was surprised. Arjuna dying and being revived. Ulupi explained. You see, by killing Bhishma unfairly, by keeping Shikhandi in front and shooting Bhishma dead, Arjuna incurred the wrath of the Vasus. Bhishma was the eldest of the Vasus. Dyav was his name. So, Ashta Vasus are there. So, the other 7 cursed Arjuna that he will go to hell. So, I believe Ulupi's father-in-law, Ulupi's father, who happened to be having a bath at the same place where the Vasus were having a bath. Celestial, somewhere in the Himalayas. So he overheard the conversation, and on behalf of his daughter, he begged them, no, please spare my son-in-law. So they said, okay, if he undertakes some expiation, on some expiatory ritual, purifying ceremony, then he can be relieved. And he asked him, which expiation ceremony? I don't know, please tell me. So they said, Arjuna has to die at the hands of his own son. That will neutralize, because he was like a son to Bhishma. So Arjuna, Ulupi provoked actually Babruvahana, Ulupi, Chitrangada, both the wives of. So Ulupi provoked Babruvahana to fight and kill, and then she revived him, so that the effect of the curse is neutralized. This is a very interesting incident. And at the end of the Ashwamedha Yajnam, Yudhishthira did a lot of charity, and he actually gave the entire kingdom in charity to Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa returned it, saying that I don't need this kingdom, just give me some money and some gold, which I will distribute amongst my disciples and some poor Brahmins. You can keep this kingdom, rule it dharmically. And so Vyasa gave some of the wealth that he received from Yudhishthira to Kunti Devi, and that is how the Ashwamedha Yajna ended. And Yudhishthira consolidated his sovereignty as the sovereign of the entire earth, There were many vassals, many satraps, Samantarajulu, who used to pay tribute. And Yudhishthira ruled for 36 years. That is how the Ashwamedha Parva ends. Jai Shri Ram.